So, the third need of followers from the Gallup Study of leadership is stability. This is a really interesting one to talk about right now because I know that, particularly for the last 3 or 4 years, not very many things have felt stable. The interesting thing about stability is it doesn't mean that nothing is changing, right? In our organizations, things are constantly changing. So, what stability is really about is about the leader feeling like they are, or the follower feeling like they are safe. The two things that primarily make a follower feel stable and safe are transparency and clarity. Let me give you an analogy. Most of you have probably ridden a roller coaster. It's not exactly my favorite thing, but I know many people really love roller coasters. The interesting thing about roller coasters is that they are definitely a little scary, right? The whole point is to feel that little bit of scariness. But we are buckled in, and so we feel secure. So even though things are up and down and around, we don't actually, unless it's a roller coaster we've ridden a bunch, we don't know what's coming around the next corner. But because we are buckled in, we feel secure. And so we go back to that roller coaster over and over again because the thrill is okay, because we feel secure, we feel stable, we feel safe. Okay. This is much the way followers feel in an organization. They are okay if things are changing and unexpected things are happening, as long as they feel safe and secure and stable. This is interesting because when we look at the foundation of engagement, there are a few things that are sort of the foundation of engagement in the workplace that I think are really relevant to stability. Followers are more engaged when they know what is expected of them. Followers also feel more stable and safe when they know what is expected of them on a daily, weekly, monthly, annual basis. They feel more stable and are therefore more engaged when they have the materials and equipment to do their job. They feel more stable and safe when their talents fit and when their skills are related to their job. The foundation of engagement is they feel appreciated. This goes back to that compassion a little bit, but that appreciation is almost like the polish on the seatbelt. It just makes them feel like that seatbelt is really safe. They are secure in this job. They know what's going on. I said at the beginning that stability is about transparency and clarity. A big piece of this is even when things are changing in an organization, your followers will feel more stable and safe if there's transparency about what's going on. You can't always share everything with your followers, but it's really amazing how information makes people feel stable. I have a great quote from Brian Brim, works at Gallup and is a great strengths expert and leadership expert. And he said, even when the news is bad, employees feel better when leaders are open about it. This is fascinating because our instinct is to keep the bad news from people, to not share that information. But when we tell employees what's going on and we're open, perhaps we also share a plan for what we're going to do about it. But when we're open about the bad news, what happens is the employees feel brought into the fold and like they are part of the team, and therefore they feel more stable and like the organization has a better chance of moving forward. So when things are rough in your organization, when things are challenging, a lot of times if you can be open with your people about it, they can be part of the solution rather than a bunch of anxious people around wondering what's going on. So to summarize, the third need of followers is stability. That's about transparency and clarity. So people knowing that they are secure in that seatbelt.